Boxing fans, critics, and analysts, Renee Box Young, salute from the South. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, etc. One love. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I don't cover UFC. You know it. I only cover boxing, BKFC. But I wanted to cover this because I watched it, UFC 249, if I'm not mistaken. I watched it because, there are no fighting events or anything like that. No boxing, no BKFC, So I wanted to watch it. And it was to my surprise because I only watched this fight, okay? Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. That's why I'm just going to go by Justin, okay? Boxing prevailed in this fight to my surprise. To my surprise. Justin, gave an amazing boxing lesson to Tony. I'm not saying that in MMA boxing always prevails, by no means, just in this fight in particular, and he won a championship. So, wow. To my understanding, Tony Ferguson, he had a big winning streak, and he's a tough opponent, champion. I'm really, really surprised he didn't go down. Tony, if you guys saw the fight, it was just amazing. As far as Tony, his chin, the commentators, man, they were talking about, look at Tony's chin, by the punches, the power punches, the left hooks that Justin was executing to Tony. All of Justin's opponents were KO'd by then. Tony, his legs got wobbly a few times. He backed up, Justin with those power punches he gave, hooks. Man, left hooks, man, power punches, left power punches. They wobbled Tony a lot. He would back up a lot, round after round. My hat's off to Tony. He was taking punches left and right to the face. Justin, the thing here is, from what I heard from the commentators, he was fighting since school, college, high school, what have you. He was fighting. So, you can tell. Just by that, you can tell. I don't know these guys, honestly, man. I don't watch UFC. But what I saw in the ring, man, when I saw Justin, how he was boxing, I was thinking, wow, this guy has experience. He really does have. I personally think he would do excellent in BKFC. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in there and just blows it off the charts in there, man, because he did amazing against Tony in that, I think it's a 12 fight winning streak, man. If I'm not mistaken. And Tony's a tough guy. He was doing great, but, Justin was just too precise in his punching strategy, even though he wasn't really given a lot of combos. His combos weren't like more than 2 punches, if I'm not mistaken. It was just like 1-2, left hook, left hook, left hook, one down, right punch down the pipe, boom, straight down the pipe, boom. And it was just really taking its toll when you go to the last round. Look at Tony's face. It was torn apart. I don't, as you guys know, I've said it many times, as far as BKFC, I've expressed I don't like the gore. It's really graphic, but I do really respect the boxing element, the science, the sweet science that is brought to the table in BKFC. That's why sometimes, time and time again, I do watch UFC. I do watch UFC time and time again, but not much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the expertise of the fighting. Combat sports and martial arts. That's brought there in the octagon. But I really don't watch it. But you do see boxing in it too, because it's part of the combat sport. So it's part of the mixed martial arts. So, but Justin primarily brought that. He was kicking also, but mostly the boxing was it just blew me away. It blew me away. Justin, his reflections, his reflexes. Sorry. You could just tell he was totally focused, totally in the zone. I'm not saying Tony wasn't, but the way as far as boxing is concerned, I'm covering that. So when Justin's hands were up, his right hand, covering, the left kicks that Tony executed, blocking him. Boom. Yeah, sometimes he got hit, obviously, but just look at Justin's face. He must have face of skin of steel or something, because he was just, I think, had a bloody nose or something, bloody mouth a little bit. But man, Justin had great defense. His hands were up, and he was just alert. His reflexes were amazing, and that's how he was able to counter. Because of his experience, and he would execute in a perfect timing. He wasn't probably the fastest. That's another point I wanted to cover with Justin. He wasn't the fastest, compared to, I cover boxing mostly, and BKFC. So compared to that, he wasn't really too fast. He was pretty quick though, but his timing, and that's one of the commentators expressed that his timing was just so precise, on point, and he would land. I remember he landed I think it was a right hook to the left temple, perfect square in the left temple of Tony. Sorry about the dogs, if you hear the dogs, but yeah, left at the temple, right in the temple area. Bam! Oh my gosh, and that got Ferguson hurt, and towards the end, man, it's just Ferguson couldn't take anymore, man. You can tell he was just getting really beat. Really, I mean, Justin, hats off to the champ, man. Hats off to Justin. I really enjoyed the boxing element brought into the octagon, and people should appreciate that, man. Now, UFC fans, y'all gotta appreciate a little bit that boxing a little bit more. The boxing skills. Like I said, I'm not saying boxing, beats all MMA matches. No, because if you throw, remember that little parody or whatever, that little clip that Mayweather did a couple years ago. What are the odds? Floyd Mayweather, 2000, whatever the heck year it was. UFC, what are the odds? Whatever he said. And then they made a parody, a couple UFC guys, I guess, made a parody about it. And, the guy who was acting like UFC saying the same, what are the odds? What are the odds? And he turns around and gets kicked in the face and falls. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not comparing, what I'm saying? I'm just saying that, Justin really, I mean, boxing won. Boxing won. And UFC, 249, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, I mean, wow. And it got him the championship. It got Justin the championship. So, man, hats off, and I repeat, I think, UFC fans, you should appreciate, I'm not saying you don't, but, appreciate that sweet science brought into the octagon, man, because it really, I mean, it did amazing against the champion, Tony. So, I mean, former champion now. So, I mean, but Tony, man, he really took the punches. He and I think one of the commentators, I think it was Joe Rogan, he was talking about Ferguson's awkwardness, and how he, spins around in the ring and how he just has those weird angles. And it was kind of weird. Like Ferguson was doing some kind of weird posing and stuff like that, or I don't know what you want to call it, but, around halfway through the fight, like trying to change his strategy, but didn't help at all. I think he's trying to confuse Justin with his hands and his arms waving around and stuff like that. But, it's just Justin was too focused. That boxing strategy was amazing in the ring, man. But like I said, wasn't many combos. It wasn't like above 2-punch combos, if I'm not mistaken. If he were to up the combos a little bit more to like 3-4 punch combos, but then again, it's hard because, people get out of the way quick. So, I mean, Justin just did amazing, man. Those left hooks were brutal. Those right power, man, it was just all awesome. So, I mean, hey, hats off. Justin, congratulations. New champ. I think it's 130 pounds. I don't remember, guys. Sorry about that. But, yeah, I just wanted to highlight that, man, how Justin brought amazing boxing, sweet science into that octagon. Hats off to both fighters, man. Renee Box Young, like, subscribe, share. What do you think, man? Did you watch the fight? I'm sure you did. I'm sure a lot of boxing fans watched this fight. So, hey, go ahead and comment below. What did you think about that, man? You think they'll rematch? I don't know, man, because Justin did amazing. So, thank you so much, guys. Peace out, fam.